Hello guys, today we are going to unbox the base set of the Netrunner living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. It's a really nice card game which has this particularity of being distributed with just fixed cards inside boxes such as this one, or deluxe expansions and data packs which have a smaller amount of cards. So this is the core set and it contains all the cards that you need to start playing the game. So let's open it up. Let's get the plastic wrapping out of the way, and let's get the box open. So as you can see, the core set box, although the game only contains cards and a couple of tokens, and the rulebook is quite large, and that is because you can use it afterwards to store the whole collection of cards as you collect them from different sources. So the rulebook, it gives you an overview of all the different factions, and then it goes into more detail on how the play area should be built and the different card types and the stats on them and so on. So you want to take a close look at this when you start playing the game, and you can also find some videos on YouTube that will teach you how to play, and you even have some matches and tournaments and so on recorded, for example by Team Covenant, which is a YouTube channel only dedicated to Netrunner matches. So you can check those out as well, and they will be a nice help in order to learn the game. So below the rulebook you have a whole page of tokens. So these are basically credit tokens, and then you have some brain damage tokens, some assorted counters that you can use. These are like tag counters and so on, and these are used to basically know what action you're on. So they have different icons, different images on the back, because credits can also be used as advancement tokens for your assets and agendas. And here below you have the basically the tag counters, which are also bad publicity counters. So some of them have different images on the sides. So here you have the actual packs of cards. The red back cards are for corporations, I think, and the blue back, no, sorry, the blue back is for corporations and the red back cards are for runners. I think you can see from the action card exactly the blue cards are for corporation, because you only have three actions that you can take as corporation, because your first action is always to draw a card. So here we have all of the Corp cards, and here all of the runner ones. The box has a nice feature, which is this cardboard cuttings here, these flaps on the bottom of the box that you can use for the first your initial start on the game. You can use these to basically get cards in place, so you can store one deck on each side of the box and assorted cards on the middle there. And you can also use these Ziploc bags later on to store your counters in. So we're gonna detach these counters now, and we're gonna show you a closer overview of the cards contained on the core set. As you can see, there are a lot of cards because you have starting cards for 3 different factions of runners and 4 different factions of corporation, plus neutral cards that you can mix with different factions as you experiment with them. So there's really a lot of content just out of the box on the core set. So let's take a closer look at the tokens and their quality and also the cards. So here we have all the different tokens and we can just detach a couple of them. They come off really easily, so they're really nicely cut and they are made of actually really nice strong cardboard, so they are very durable. But you can always replace these counters with normal, glass counters that you use on other trading card games instead of using these ones that come with the game. So as you can see, they are made of quite thick cardboard. And most people, for example, use these counters like this to count the action, the number of actions they're on. So you just take 4 of them and flip them over. And you can keep track of how many actions you used during the game. So these are actually quite nice quality. So let's finish detaching those and just take a look at some of the cards contained within the game. So in terms of corporation cards, these are basically the cards that you're going to get. So you get specific cards for each of the factions: NBN, Jinteki, has Bioroid, Wayland Consortium, and also some neutral cards that you can use to build the decks with all the different factions. So in total you're going to get decks of 45 cards for the corporation. You also get 2 cards, one that is sort of a player aid that will describe the different actions that you can take during one turn, and you also get 1 card where you can track the action that you're in. You use this hexagonal counter and basically just move it around this card in order to track your actions. Or, as I said previously, you can just use one of those tag counters and flip it front or back side to keep track of those. So this is it, and maybe we're just gonna zoom in and take a closer look at the cards for each of the factions. So these are the Wayland Consortium cards. We can browse through some of those. So you're gonna get 3 copies of most of the cards, but you're also going to get 2 copies of some and 1 copy of a couple of them. So sometimes if you're really going to get into Netrunner and build really competitive decks, you're going to need more than 1 core set if you want to have triple copies of some of the cards, or you can buy them online, just singles. Some of the people, there are some people that actually break up the core sets and they just sell individual cards online, so you can also check for those. So these are a couple of Wayland cards. You get some ice, some specific ice, and also some specific agendas, but normally you need to buy another data pack in order to get more agendas that are specific to the corporation, so you don't have to resort to the neutral agendas, which we can see here, because these actually don't contribute a lot to the playstyle of your particular faction. So using these neutral agendas is only a temporary solution until you get better faction-specific ones. So let's set it here and let's take a closer look at some Has-Bioroid cards. So let's start with Identity, and then you get some of the staple Has-Bioroid cards like Donnie's Campaign and so on. So you can actually, there are 2 deluxe expansions that were released so far, and one of them covers Shaper and Has-Bioroid, while the other covers Criminal and Jinteki, I think I'm not making a mistake, those are the combinations. So if you're really looking to expand the game on any of those factions, you can just acquire those. Although there are a lot of really good cards that are spread among all the other data packs. So, yeah. So these are the specific Has-Bioroid cards. And then we have here some Jinteki ones. So some specific agendas, assets, Project Junebug, a snare, which is an asset that actually does some damage when you access it, so it's sort of like the base mechanic of Jinteki, to cause your opponent to lose through flatlining. Some Jinteki Ice, and some more ice, and here you have a unique card. And the last faction is NBN, which basically uses more of a tagging mechanic, and it actually has some interesting mechanics. So here are the NBN cards contained within the core set. And next up we're gonna take a look at the runner cards as well. So some NBN Ice. Most of it has some trace subroutines. Toll Booth, which is a really nice piece of ice that is used by a lot of decks, NBN and other factions as well. So this is it for the Corp Cards. As you can see, there is a lot of content here, and let's just take a closer look at the runner ones. So these are the different runner cards actually contained within the Ziploc. With all the runner cards, there were also some more corporation cards. So Hedge Fund, Enigma, and Hunters, and Wall of Static. So a couple more ices, and also some operation cards. You can, like I said, differentiate between them because the Corp cards have blue backs and the runner cards have red ones. So let's set these aside along with the Corp cards. So for the runner you have 3 different factions: Shaper, Criminal, and Anarch. You're also going to get another player aid with all the runner actions, and this card, which you can see, has 4 clicks, so 4 actions, unlike the corporation one, because the first action for the corporation is always to draw a card, while as the runner you have 4 actions. You can use any amount of them to draw a card, gain credits, install something, do a run, whatever. So we also have some neutral cards that you can use along with all your runner decks. so you can make a complete deck just out of the box and test it on a match with some of the corporation decks. So let's just take a closer look at each of the cards contained for the different runner factions. So we can just start with Anarch. The identity is noise. So we have some Deja Vus, Demolition Run, Steam Hack, Cyber Feeder. Anarch uses a lot of viruses and so on. So Grimoire, which is a console, and then we have the icebreakers that have different types and basically are used to break all the different types of ice that the corporation puts in front of you. So Corroder, Data Sucker, like I said, a virus, Gin, which is a program, another virus called Medium, Mimic, which is a program, another virus, Parasite, an icebreaker, Worm, and Yogg, which is a nice icebreaker as well, and a couple of resources, so Ice Carver and Wildside. So let's set him here. We're also going to get an identity for Criminal, which is Gabriel Santiago, and then a couple of events, which is Account Siphon, Easy Mark, 3 of those, Forged Activation Orders, also 3, Inside Job, Special Order, Lemuria Code Cracker is the piece of hardware, Desperado, which is their console. You only get one of those because it's unique. Aurora, Femme Fatale, Ninja, Sneak Norbetta, and Bank Chomp. Also Crash Space. You can use credits on this card to remove tags and it prevents meat damage as well. Data Dealer and Decoy. So this is it for Criminal. And now we're gonna take a look at the Shaper cards. So the identity is Kate Mac McCaffrey. And then you get Diesel, which draws 3 cards for 0 costs. Really nice. Modded, Maker's Eye, Tinkering, Akamatsu Memory Chip, Rabbit Hole, the Personal Touch, the Toolbox, the console, so Battering Ram, Gordon Blade, and Magnum Opus, as well as Net Shield, Pipeline, and Aesop's Pawn Shop. You only get one of those because it's unique, and Sacrificial Construct. The fact that it's unique doesn't mean you can't have more copies of them on the deck. You can and you should. That's why people buy other core sets or those singles, because they want extra copies. Just means you can only have one of them in play at a given time. So this is it, guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this unboxing and that you enjoyed playing Netrunner. So see you on the next unboxing video. We're gonna unbox some deluxe expansions for Netrunner as well. So see you on those. Take care, guys, and I hope that you enjoyed it. See you next time.